Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Luna Beach Crypto, where we ride the waves of the crypto market all the way to the moon. I'm your host, David. It is July 23rd, 2024 at 6:07 a.m. Central Standard Time. ETH spot ETFs launched today, guys. That is what we have going on today. Now, while I am expecting kind of a pump pullback. Hold on, what is going on over here? I don't know. While I'm expecting a pump and dump type of deal going on with Ethereum, I don't know that it'll quite be like Bitcoin. Bitcoin's dump. I think that it's more likely for it to be short-lived because of one reason. There's no, as far as I know, there's no, Bitcoin had the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. And that is what drug the price down after the ETF launch. So, I don't think we have such an issue, the same issue as with Ethereum. So, I think we are due for a correction, though. I will say that. And this is kind of my idea. This is what I drew up yesterday. We did get that move to the downside yesterday, and we got a little bit of a front running on the price. I guess I could go ahead and zoom in. Before I do that, say, good morning. Good morning, Rockinos. Good morning, Blackie Chan. How are you guys doing on this wonderful Tuesday morning where we have Ethereum ETFs launching? It's exciting, man. It's exciting. Altcoin market might respond pretty well. I loaded the portfolio up with some layer 2s, and we'll see. That was like a week ago. We'll see. Dollar has strong weekly FVG bearish. We'll look at the dollar since you brought that up. And yeah. This looks a little more like it. So maybe we could get a nice move up to about $3,820, $3,800 for Ethereum. That is also the 0.786 from the bull market high to the bear market low. That is the 786. We also have this 618 sitting right above us. So that we do need to get through that resistance before we can even think about the 786. Red box is just area of supply, aka resistance. So that's why I have that up. Yo, Justin Eubanks. What's going on, my guy? All right. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at right there. It looks like, this is some nice support. Once you break up into the kind of lower volume on a fixed range volume profile, price tends to go quickly through it to the next level, which would really be, which would really be this one right here at about $3,682. That's the first level that we'd have to get through. So I could see us break up, do a little bit of consolidation right below that level, and then head up to that point of control. The point of control is like a magnet to price. That is the where you have the most volume traded at that price. Most volume traded at that price. We also have the value area high just above that, but we can see all the volume is here. So this is where I would expect for price to get to before ultimately rolling over and doing a correction and correcting. Of course, this is an area right here, an area of previous support, trying to turn it back into support. Hasn't really been too much on the resistance side, other than right here, it kind of fell through. But then we're kind of, when we came up to it here, we've consolidated all in it. And now, hopefully, we get a nice little push up. Now, a more bullish outlook would be if Ethereum went ahead and did a little fake out and then moved to the upside. That little fake out would help drive it up to this area of resistance as it is grabbing liquidity and then shifting back to the upside. Not a necessity, though. All right, so that is what I am thinking on Ethereum. I think we get a nice little pump and dump. When the dump comes, not exactly sure, but probably after it comes up here to the point of control, the 786 on the fibs. And yeah, that's what I'm looking at on that. Bitcoin. Let's go ahead and get over to the Bitcoin. Let's zoom out a little bit. I was putting this together last night, and I was just looking at how volatile Bitcoin has been. I keep, no matter what I do on a macro for Bitcoin, it seems to, I continue getting around summer next year for being the end of the cycle for Bitcoin. So might have to push my expectations into next year. I've been expecting it to finish up this year. This is January 25th. So this would be the next leg. And what I'm thinking of this is that we would get up here and then correct and then have one final push to the upside. And that is only if everything aligns. If everything aligns, we can do that. If there's no bearish divergence at that time, then we might can do that. And it depends on what time frame that bearish divergence is on, because if it's a weekly bearish divergence, it could give us one more push to the upside before rolling over. Now, what happens after we hit that blow off top? That becomes a pretty scary question, because we've got equal lows all the way down here. Equal lows all the way down here that have not been taken. They always get taken. Always. Always. This is the great crypto crash. What would you do? Would you be able to do it? Would you still buy? Would you still buy? I'm not saying it's for sure going to happen, but what if it did? Would you buy? Or would you think it was dead? I personally would buy, because it would at least get a retrace. It would at least get a retrace. All right, let's zoom in a little bit. Let's go, let's pick up, Dixie, real quick, before I go into the short-term time frames on Bitcoin. Let's see. I need to change these colors up. Haven't played with this in a while. Did I delete? I think I did. I accidentally deleted my Whole dollar thesis. Cool. All right. Go buy gold, bro. Bitcoin is trash. You're funny. Gold does nothing. At least I know that gold does nothing but double every 30 years in supply. So why would you want that? Kalichi Algucha. Good morning. Good morning. Hello. Hello. Can you go? Excuse me. Jeez. All right. So the Dixie on the weekly. Looking for a pullback into this fair value gap. Broke the trend that was beginning to start up. So this can come through here. Let's see. I don't like this because we have two fair value gaps. I don't like two fair value gaps. I like one fair value gap. And this one is still building. This one still has 3 days and 12 hours to create itself, which could be this right here. If it doesn't come up any higher, which it probably will. If I'm expecting the dollar to come a little higher, then I'm expecting Bitcoin and other risk on assets to have pullbacks. Let's go to the daily. So if it wants to, if the dollar wants to move to the upside, which I can see why it would, we do have an order block right here that it would want to get into. So it came down. It's already swept equal lows down here and popped right back above that level right here. Come on. I don't know why. There we go. Came down, swept the lows, and pushed right back up. To me, that shows that this thing will at least come up to this bearish order block. And it is right there at that upwards trend line. Come up to the bearish order block. And then, at the very least, get a correction. And then could move back to the upside. We do have relatively equal highs here, so would not be surprised to see that. And I can see on Bitcoin, I can see us taking a little bit of time here before we take off. I mean, this is about almost 2 months. This gets us to the September FOMC, which is when the market is expecting rate cuts. So if we get our first rate cut in September, and we get this ETF launch, the ETF launch isn't as volatile as the Bitcoin ETF launch, but it is enough to where institutions get involved, and so things get just a little choppy for a month or two. And that's, I mean, I can definitely see that happening. Now, if we break above here, get a back test, and then continue higher, all right then. That's fine. But either way, I still think it's going to be a little bit choppy until we continue. Before we continue, that is. Ethereum will kind of maybe steal the show, or maybe it does its own little sideways correction here. Because, or maybe not, because a lot of the attention will be on Ethereum. So I could see it continuing to push to the upside, but this ABC can take a little while too. I mean, get us into August at least. Get us into August, and then maybe it starts working its way to the upside. This is just this is projecting way out into the future. So I do not have a crystal ball. I can't guarantee any of this will happen. Not financial advice, just so you know. Just my thoughts on based on what I'm seeing, thinking about narratives, thinking about what can happen, how things can happen, comparing the Ethereum spot ETF to the Bitcoin spot ETF. What are the differences? Well, the difference is there's no billions of dollars in Ethereum in an Ethereum grayscale trust to sell off for a few months. But I can also see some of the attention going to Ethereum. So that could be what keeps Bitcoin sideways. But then we also have the Dixie that might try to do some bullishness, right? Might try to do some bullish stuff. We do have these relatively equal highs. Let's get rid of this trend line and let's act like that's not even here. Take out those equal highs and then things can really get interesting going into next year. Finishing out the rest of the year and going into next year, that is. So I'm still remaining patient, waiting for the right opportunities to present themselves. And right now, it's just a little too risky. Now, I'm talking, of course, mid-term to long-term. And, you know, if you're in it, you're in it. Might as well. If you trade every day, then, you know, none of that really matters. That's what I'm trying to get at. Bitcoin's doing a little bit of a dump ski right now. Zoom out a little. Let's go to the hourly. Let's go to a different chart. How about that? Got about 6 minutes left. You guys are quiet this morning. All right, Bitcoin perps. Zoom out. Let's go to the daily. Let's look at Bitcoin on the daily. So yeah, we're getting a little bit of a pullback today, of course. Just to start, like right now, it's pretty early. We've come down, and what we're doing right now currently is we are sweeping yesterday's low, the Monday low. Typically, when you sweep Monday low and you come back up, sweep Monday low, then the rest of Tuesday has potential for being bullish. So I would come down to the smaller time frames, sweeping Monday's low. We've already swept Monday's low right here. This was Monday's low. We swept that. So then now we look for market structure shift now that we swept Monday's low. Go to the 15, anything. So I want this high taken out on a time frame that makes sense. I'm trying to find, I don't see any kind of clean fair value gaps, so that's what I'm looking for. This might can go lower because I'm not really seeing anything. Let's see. Let's go to the 3. Looking for that market structure shift. A little bit. Got an order block here. Let's go down to the 1. Was there anything here? Nope. I don't like it. Let's see. Let's take this final down candle here. We'll see if we get there. We did have all of this liquid. Did we sweep these lows? Yeah, we did. We did. If this can get going, then that would definitely. If this gets going from here, then I would consider maybe entering along. We got this high right here. What I would want to see is a pretty strong push here, taking out the high, pull back into some kind of fair value gap, order block, something down in here. Preferably a 50% pullback minimum. So down here, that's what I would be looking for the fair value gap to be below whatever the point of interest that I'm looking for. I want it to be below this 50 percentile from this low to this high. Whenever that low to that high comes in, that is what I'm going to look for. I'm going to look for that point of interest, whether it's a fair value gap, an order block, some kind of liquidity. I'm looking for it to be within or below that 50% range, into the discount range. That is when I'm looking for my point of interest. We also have this high up here, and this is the 1 minute. Going to the 3, yeah, that's definitely the high that I want to see taken. It's the last bounce before coming down and hitting down this lower level of liquidity. So I want to see this high taken, and I want to see a fair value gap or something created on the way up. Get the pullback, and then ride the wave to the upside. Hopefully. It's looking clean. Sweat Monday's low. Then we go for Monday high, if not higher. But that's it. That's all I got. That's all I got. That's all I have time for. I'm always doing that. So yeah, we'll have to see what happens. This could be a pretty volatile day. Overall, I'm thinking a little pump and dumpy. So just be cautious. Be cautious. I don't think there's anything too crazy on the economic news front today. I think it's just a couple of medium impact folders. Probably not gonna be much of anything on that. The launch is what matters. That's what I want to see. I want to see how a launch affects price. What I would do at a bare minimum is wait for the first 30 minutes. Let it show what it's going to do for within the first 30 minutes. 30 minutes to an hour of the trading day of the launch. Does it get a dip first? Cool. Then I'm going to be looking for the market structure shift inside there. Does it pump first? Cool. Then I'm going to be looking for a pullback into turning resistance into support of somehow, some way. That's what I want to see. Now, if it breaks down, if it does a sweep of a high, maybe even this high first, and then it comes down, then it is bearish. I would enter, if it gives you a retrace, I would enter on a short and then continue riding it down to the downside. So I would prefer if we went down first, because it's just we're reaching lower to go higher. I would prefer to do that, because instead, on the other side, it would be reaching higher in an effort to be able to push lower. That's what I'm thinking. Hello, Alex or Crypto. I love you. But I got to go get ready for work. Throw some otters in the chat and some waves. And yeah. I hope you all have an amazing, beautiful, wonderful, radical day. Be careful with those ETFs. This could be a nice, volatile day for traders. So, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I'll see you all in the chats in Discord. Join. Link is in the description. It's free. But thank you all for being here. Love you all. Mad love. Ride the waves. Peace.